I don't think there's any videos of this on YouTube at all, at least anything decent. This is the Boundless Voyage Titanium Coffee Drip Filter, is what that is. Now, they do say you can use this without a filter, but I have chosen to use it with a filter. Total weight is 1 ounce. Weighs nothing, is what this is. So, how well does it work? That's what we're kind of going to find out here. I get that going. I'm using a number 2 filter. I'll have a link in the bottom, but that's kind of what they are. I find them a bit pricey, but this is a very healthy filter that you can use. And literally, it goes in your cup, like right across. So you got these things that fold down, and thus it has to be packed away like that. That's a 750 milliliter, this one here, and it goes inside. No problem at all. This one's a 550, goes in there, no problem at all. So you should be all right. The wings come out, and it looks like it goes on pretty much just about most cups. So you decide how you want to do it. That'll speed it up. Now I take the number 2 paper filter like so. I kind of fold it down. It will go inside this thing. It allows me to spread it out. If you can see that. So now, while the water's getting ready to boil, I do like a little stronger coffee. So I'm going to use like 2 tablespoons. You could go 2.5, but mine are kind of heaping. So there we go. That's how it's going to look, as you can see there. They do say you can use it without a filter, depending on how thick your coffee is. But I did see people complain about things changing color. It is titanium. So with the Boundless Voyage titanium coffee drip here. And the other thing I noticed, I bought that and it said Prime, but it took over 2 weeks to get here. So obviously it was on the boat going to Amazon or something. It took me a while to get it, which I was very, very surprised. But for it only weighing 1 ounce, and now you got a great cup of coffee, I hope. We're going to see. Like I said, this just came in today. I'm testing it out. And I'll have a link in the bottom for the filters I'm using, which is the filters you're supposed to use. The problem with reviews is sometimes you got to be careful because, you know, when people go to good reviews, sometimes the companies will pay people to put good reviews. And then there's also the competition. They will pay people to write bad reviews. So your reviews are kind of up in the air, give or take. You know, until you see like 3,000, 4,000, where now you can kind of guess and put some idea to it, you're not fully going to know. So when I looked at it and seen how light it was, that was the first thing caught my attention, you know, being an ounce and being it's titanium and how easy it is. I mean, I flip up the wings, I throw it on there, I throw a filter in. Or if you choose not to use the filter, I'd use a filter. Because now you got to clean it. You got to flip it upside down. You got to pour water in it. And water is hard to come by when you're backpacking. and that's just the way it is. So it makes more sense for me to use a paper filter, and this way I just take the paper filter out and discard it. And the other thing that's nice about a paper filter, I mean, you can burn that in your fire. There's nothing in that. It's not chemically or anything. It's super healthy for you. So, and that's another thing you got to watch with your filters when you buy certain filters now. But you have to pay attention to so many things, so many little things anymore to try and do things healthy, is what it is. We're bubbling it a little bit here. We're getting there. And that's quite a bit of water in there. I put in that 750. So I hope I do this right. We're almost boiling. I want to catch it at the right time. Okay, we're boiling. So that's hot enough for coffee. Make sure when we grab this handle, it's not too hot. Now, I'm going to pour this water in here. Not too bad. I thought I might need like a tea kettle or something to do this. But I'm trying to do like a circle slurry. And it is filtering through. The filter's working pretty good. I think you can see that a little bit. So nothing like having fresh coffee in the morning. And not only that, a lot of people are switching to these type of ways of making coffee because, well, if you're single, even if you buy a 5-cup coffee maker, it still has a lot of plastic in it, right? And people don't want the microplastics and everything in their body, so a lot of people are making their coffees simply with a gadget like this. This just happens to be made out of titanium, this Boundless Voyage titanium one. So, looks like I put too much alcohol in my burner. Wasting alcohol. Okay. I'm getting there. It does take a little while to filter too. And literally I'm just pouring it in. And you can see it coming out there. As it's filtering out. Now I imagine I could take that maybe that'll help it filter a little bit better if I stir it around. It is touching it. We're going to fill it up again. I'm trying to get it as high as I can. And this does take time because it is a drip filter. You know, it's not going to be racing itself through. Now, if I had this in my pot, because my 550 sits so low, it would be sitting in the coffee. Is what it would sit. So a much higher pot like the 750 would probably be a much better type of cup to filter into. But I'm quite impressed. Yep. I do a lot of research when I buy things. I mean, when I'm spending money and stuff, I mean, I don't care. Like, this is under 20 bucks. And I mean, I'm checking with AI. I'm looking for reviews on multiple sites. I'm trying to see if other people are using it. And I do a ton of research before I part with my money anymore, being everything is so expensive anymore. You know, last thing I want to do is send something back to Amazon after I get it, and because that's just a pain in the butt. Box it back up and send it back out. So it seems to be pretty easy to use. Just add hot water to the top, let it drip through the filter, and let it fill up the other cup. Now, obviously, you're going to need some way to boil water like I just did with the alcohol stove, and then something to pour it in there. So you're probably going to need two titanium cups if you're going to want coffee. Because I think if I poured it into a pot and boiled my water and then tried to dump that in here, it might be a little bit more difficult. So we're almost full. And that's coming along pretty nice. So this is our coffee. Not sure you can see that. That looks like a good cup of coffee, huh? That's hot. Oh, probably 2 tablespoons is a bit too much. I would say maybe a tablespoon and a half. Oh, that's good. That is really good. So, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you're climbing out of your tent or your hammock, I mean, to sit down and spend 5 minutes boiling some water and making a cup of coffee. And I do drink coffee black. I don't drink it with sugar or milk. In case you didn't know, milk turns to sugar in your system. It's not healthy for you. That is a really good cup of coffee. So the Boundless Voyage, and what happens if I take this out? So I'm going to take my filter out. Okay. And there's how that looks with the filter that was put into it. This is my filter. So as you can see, it's still nice and clean. So if you use a filter, you're going to be able to not worry about cleaning it. If you don't use a filter, then you're going to have to flip it upside down, dump water into it. It's going to use some of your water. I would prefer to use a filter. And that is the Boundless Voyage Titanium Coffee Drip. Yeah, I think it's worth it. For under 20 bucks. 1 ounce. How could you not want to have a coffee when you're backpacking? I have links at the bottom. And I bought that with my own money. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.